Hi, my name is Cassandra Cardenas. So the first family that I would have a parent-teacher conference with is a family that has been in the United States for 1 year. They speak Spanish at the home. The parents have no understanding of English, and the highest level of education for the parents is a high school equivalent. They are of a lower socioeconomic status. The child is an only child, and he lives with his parents, and they do not have any extended family that lives nearby. The parent-teacher conference, I would make sure that there's an interpreter there to be able to convey the information that I'm discussing about their child to the parents. So I would first start the conference on a positive note and discuss what I've seen in the child, the progress he's making with social skills, being able to adapt to life in the United States, and the progress he's been making in his English as a second language course. I would then have the parents discuss with me and through the interpreter the information, the progress that they've seen in their child, and how he has been doing with getting his homework done, with adapting, if they see him struggling with a certain subject area. And then I would also discuss the progress that I've seen in their child. I would have a portfolio with visual representations of progress of the child so that they're able to visually see the work that their child has been doing at school. And I would have a copy of a translation of written work so that the parents are able to see like the short stories that he wrote, what the stories were about, his areas of interest in reading. To relate to this family by emphasizing how well he's been adapting to life in America, and how he's been making friends and he's been learning English, and how he really seems to enjoy learning. And I would also then start discussing the areas that still need improvement, and I would emphasize the role that his parents can have in helping him continue to progress in certain subject areas and different activities and tasks that they can do with him. And I would also end it on a positive. So I would really make sure to emphasize how well he's been doing, and especially in his English as a second language course. So the second family I will be having a parent-teacher conference with have lived in the United States for 2 years. They speak Chinese at home, and they have a limited understanding of English. So the father speaks broken English and is college educated. The mother has an equivalent of a high school education and also speaks broken English, but she understands it better than she speaks it. They are of a lower socioeconomic status. The child is an only child, but lives with his parents and his grandparents from both sides of the family, and the grandparents are very involved in his life. So I would again start the conference on a positive note and discuss developmental areas of the child's life and how he's been improving in his social development, language development. I would also have an interpreter there as well to be able to communicate with the family, and I would have both the parents and the grandparents at the parent-teacher conference, since the grandparents are very involved in the child's life. I would then encourage both the parents and the grandparents to share progress that they've seen in their child and how he's been doing at home with. I would relate to this family by making sure that I hear from both the parents and the grandparents, since the grandparents are very involved in his life, and I will make sure to emphasize how the grandparents can play a very important role in helping the child continue to progress in school. I will then discuss the progress that I've seen in their child. I will then show them the portfolio that has different work that the student has done throughout the year. And I will make sure to have a copy of a translation of any written work so that they're able to see how well the student is able to write short stories and the areas of interest that he has in reading. And I would have the interpreter discuss any results of any formal assessments to make sure that they understand what the numbers mean and how it can be applied to the academic setting. I will then discuss areas that still need improvement and how we will be able to work with the child to make sure that he is able to make progress in those areas as well. And I would also end it on a positive note. So I would again relate to the family by emphasizing the role that the grandparents can play and how important that can be in the child's life and his ability to adapt to living in a new country, as well as being able to socialize and continue to grow as a student.